Carmen and Paul Honor.
Hey, we're live with Road Less Travel with Bryan Carmen and myself and our very, very special guest, Ray Parra of Sacred Warrior of Is It Wrong podcast. And what else you got going on, Ray?
Worldview.
Worldview, that's right.
Worldview. And I also did 2 records, Deny the Fallen.
Deny the Fallen. So here we go. Very, very busy man. We're excited to have Ray on tonight. We're going to start off with our normal music segment. So, Bryan, have you got some music you want to share tonight?
Yep. Usually I stay in my own genre. So here's White Cross, High Gear. And my favorite song on that one is, where to go? Without Your Love and My Love. Those 2 songs. They make me cry now that my wife is gone. And then... This one I didn't like as much as the first album, King James, but it's good. It's got some good tunes, and Jimmy Bennett's a good vocalist.
That's a good.
Of course, there's some guitar player that we might know.
Yeah, I've heard of him.
Yeah.
What was his name again?
Carol? Is it Carol?
Carol. And then I was telling you, Paul, about this one, and I found it because I couldn't find it that last episode.
Oh, yeah.
Love War. It sounds like almost exactly like the first one, I think, but I've only given it a couple listens through. So
yeah, I'll have to track that one down because I got their first one.
So those are my 3: King
Very
James,
Hi,
Love
Sarah.
War, and White Cross.
And I've got first up is Driver. That's a Rob Rock and Roy Z project. This one here, I lent out to somebody. And they loved it so much, they never gave it back. And then they moved away. And so I had to order this one special. And this actually had to be imported from Europe. But it was that good to me.
That's a great record, man. Yeah.
Yeah. And then this one, kind of just in the hard rock genre, or Witch Hazel. Kind of a funny name for a Christian band. But buddy of mine on Twitter turned me on to them and enjoy them pretty much. And this week, of course, I've been listening to this little number right here, Sacred Warriors Recessions. That's an obscure band that nobody's ever heard of.
I think I've heard of them.
Excellent album. Really good stuff.
The singer needs to work on his vocals on that album. No, just kidding.
I'll help him if he needs help. I'll do it.
You're going to help that guy out a little bit, Ray?
Yeah.
All
I think I know him.
So,
I think he's my neighbor.
I did listen to Wicked Generation yesterday when I was working out. So
nice.
Yeah, I like that one a lot, and I like the content of that one a lot. So yeah,
there's some deep backstories behind that album.
Yeah, and is that something you'd be comfortable talking about tonight a little bit?
Absolutely.
As we move forward?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome, great. So did you have music you wanted to share tonight?
Sure, man. Mine is not Christian music, but it's great music nonetheless. I don't know if you guys know, I just did a podcast with Mike LaPond the other day. Symphony X.
Yeah.
You guys familiar with Symphony X?
No, but I became friends with them after that episode.
Okay, yeah, they're a prog metal band, and man, they got some great tunes. They're just great tunes. Look them up, Symphony X. There's King of Terrors, Iconoclast, and of course, The Odyssey is everybody's favorite song by those guys. Just great band. Another one is Evergrey. I don't know if you're familiar with Evergrey.
No, never heard of them.
I need to school you guys, man.
Yes.
Michael England, just a phenomenal vocalist, man. Just that whole band. But they have a song called King of Errors that's really, really popular. Falling from the Sun and A Silent Arc. These guys, just great prog metal bands. And of course, Queensryche. I'm a huge Queensryche fan. And with Jeff Tate and with Todd LaTorre, of course, and Don't Talk to Strange, The Eyes of a Stranger, and just all them songs, man. I'm a big prog metal guy, and in the Christian music right now, I'm trying not to listen to it only because I don't know if y'all are familiar, but I don't know if y'all realize this, but we're actually working on another Sacred Warrior record, and I'm trying to go back to my original influences and stuff, and just to get things clicking again in my head, if you will. So those are my top 3 that I've been listening to a lot. And again, also I've been listening to a lot of Sacred Warrior because I want to kind of tie in the old Warrior stuff with the new stuff that we're doing. And then last but not least, I know this is more than 3. The new Worldview record is getting ready to come out, and that you guys are going to be really impressed with that.
When is that slated to come out?
I think June or July. Yeah, June or July. Dino and George did a great job on production on that, and of course, George does most of the writing on that, and just great stuff, man. If you like the first Worldview record, you're gonna like this one a lot more.
Hey Ray, you see
Yes.
we've been blessed, Jen and I, to do these 3.
Yeah, man.
Pretty soon I'm gonna be holding a 4th one because May 30th.
Come on.
Full Armor comes out. I'm so excited about this one.
Yeah, man.
You've seen the front cover, right?
Mhm.
With this oh man.
Oh yeah.
Raphael did such a great job on that. Because you should have seen the sketches I drew.
Yeah, you give him the sketch and he just goes off with it. Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
He did an awesome job.
No doubt, man. No doubt.
And t-shirts for that have been selling way before the album even came out. I'm like, really?
Really?
But that's how
Killer
good they look.
design. That's why.
That's good, man. That's good. Well, it's great artwork. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
The
man,
logos
yeah.
are just fantastic.
Yep.
So. But
Yeah,
guys,
well,
I'm really honored to be on here with you guys, man. I've been trying to get Bryan, you on my podcast, and for one reason or another, it looks like your computer is working good now, so we can go ahead and do it.
Look at my reaction.
Yeah, exactly. hey, you've come a long way, baby.
Yeah, you and I and John, we tried it twice.
Yeah, man.
You're like,
yeah.
sorry, dudes, it's not working. Well, it'll
Larry
work next
Dean
time.
is
So we gotta get John and I on your show. Which everybody you have to see. He has great merch.
Look at
we don't
that.
have merch
Come
for our
on.
show. We're waiting to even get started here. So it's only episode 27.
Yeah, we're babes in the woods on this one. But people might think, what are you guys doing promoting another Christian music podcast? And here's our view on that. We're all on the same team.
Yeah.
And we're both playing outfield or whatever, and there's more than one outfielder on a team. And I want Ray's podcast to catch every ball that comes to it and knock every ball out of the park that comes at him when he's at the plate. And when Ray wins, we win. We all win. It's
That's right.
We're doing this for the gospel of Christ. We're doing this for the Lord. So yeah, we're super excited to have Ray on and to promote his podcast and what he's doing and everything. So there's zero competition here, man.
And Wild Man and Steve.
I agree, and that's why I said earlier before we started recording, anything I can do to help you guys. Because when I first started, I was reaching out to Rex Metzer. You know him? He was like my big coach on this, man, and I believe we're very successful at it now, even though we're still in the baby stages. But Rex helped me out tremendously, and I'm going to pay it forward. Anything I can do to help you guys out, and of course, with my producer, my editor, Dave Cruz, I couldn't even do it without him.
I think I know him.
Yeah, he's all right, right?
Yep.
So before we get into the show, I just want to hit the comment section real quick. So we've got Sarah's on. Hey, Sarah, welcome.
Hey, Sarah.
Hey, Sarah, how are you?
Leah's here. Hey, Leah.
Is that your Leah?
Larry Dean, my brothers. Lord bless. Have fun. Love yous. And I've been really checking out Larry's live streams and the stuff that Larry's doing, and I'm digging it really. And we're going to be trying to get Larry on the show at some point for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Paula Sammons, my daughter. Hey, baby, how you doing? Good to have you on. And let's see if I get this one up. Here's my wife. Happy to be watching. Happy you're watching. Love you.
Happy wife, happy life. Come on.
Absolutely.
Every episode I go through and I make sure I like all the comments and stuff.
Oh, nice.
I do it after we get off. Dude. And then Sarah says, love that when we were talking about, not competition, that we're all part of the body of Christ. We're on the same team. But a t-shirt might be an epic edition.
There you go. Yeah,
maybe at some point we'll get there.
Oh, we will.
Yeah.
Paul, you and Bryan, you see you guys go ahead and all that stuff. You've watched. I can't. I did like 200 or 300 comments, and you're going to miss them. But I like what you're doing. You have somebody actually going on, highlighting them. I'm literally going, okay, I'll highlight this one. Okay, this one. Okay, that one. Okay. And it's really difficult. I enjoy it. Don't get me wrong. Keep them coming. Keep the comments coming.
Yep.
But it's hard, man, because as I'm seeing the comment, it's like, and depending on the guest, it's crazy. Let me just put it that way.
We go with the flow, but we do like to try to. Our structure is the beginning. We do the CDs,
right?
Then we intro our guest.
Mm-hmm.
Then we try to find a spot where, hey, we've got these comments. Let's touch them. And then we have real quick. We do have a newer thing. It's only the second time we've done it. It's called a fan spotlight. So let's bring in Joshua Reynolds.
Welcome, Josh.
Hey,
Hi, Joshua. How you doing?
What's up, buddy?
Not much.
Nice hat.
Thank you.
So Joshua is gonna ask a question, and we haven't heard the question. So Paul and I, we're not responsible.
Put your finger on the mute button. Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking about this when Bryan asked me at 5 o'clock this morning. I'm like, okay, I got to think of something that nobody has ever asked. Okay, what kind of bait did you use to catch the bonnethead shark you posted on Facebook a couple years ago?
Who, me?
Yep.
Oh man, I think we used on that one. We used some cut bait. We used a piece of mullet.
Okay.
But I don't know if you've seen lately. We just built a new house on a canal. My son has been catching bass this big every day. He's catching 5 or 6 huge ones, man. I'm going to put together a little collage here in a few days and post it. Y'all won't believe how many monster bass he's catching back there right now.
Nice.
It's crazy. Love it.
Some good eating then.
Well, we're not freshwater eaters. I only eat the saltwater fish.
Okay.
I ate bass years and years ago, and from what I remember, it tasted kind of dirty. But I'll eat catfish, so go figure, right?
Yeah.
Catfish is way better than bass.
Yeah. But here's the thing: them big bass that we're catching, those are trophy fish. Don't kill them. Don't eat them. Throw them back. Let them live. That's my opinion.
So Ray, I used to live down on the West Coast in Port Richey.
Oh yeah.
And my grandpa had a canal, 2 canals off the Gulf, and he had a 15-foot canoe. So we used to go out and fish on the sandbars.
Oh yeah.
Flounder.
Oh yeah.
And then I had a stepdad that would take us
were you gigging
Crystal River, I think it was called.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Crystal River. And we'd wait for the tide to go out, and my stepdad would go get them. And so we'd have to walk out there. You can't walk barefoot there because you could just slice your feet.
Oh yeah.
But we would get the scallops.
Oh yeah.
So we'd bring big old bags full back to the campfire. He'd put them on the water, boil them, and they come out. Oh my goodness! So I love scallops.
Yeah. Big old bay scallops, man.
Yep.
Me too. Yeah. Yeah. No doubt.
All right. Well, Josh, thanks so much for coming on. That was a great question. Love to hear that. And fishing, love fishing. So
me too.
That's the one thing I miss about I used to live in South Florida. And
where'd you live?
I was down in Fort Lauderdale, Sunrise.
Oh yeah.
And boy, I missed going out to the Everglades and fishing out there. That's the one thing I missed. Man.
Yeah. You know what? It's a great time to just reflect and relax and spend time with the Lord or your family or whatever. You know, it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
Calms me down.
What's that?
I said it calms me down.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I love that. So so you do a lot of saltwater fishing?
I do. We have a boat. I haven't gone out in a little while. Just been real busy actually looking for a job. Like I said, I haven't worked in a couple of months, but I know the Lord's got one in line for me right now.
Yeah.
I should find out something Monday, but I've been focusing all my energy on that. Plus, with it being a new house, we're building some things outside. Since I got the time, I'm going to go ahead. I've been doing that too, so
cool.
I think so far in the last 3 months, I've only taken the boat out twice. But soon enough, I will be out every weekend.
Yeah, and so we'll be keeping you in prayer, and our audience will be keeping you in prayer for that job.
Yeah, man. Yeah, thank you.
And I know God's got something good for you.
Yeah, man. I know He does.
And Brian Dale Rainsberger says, "Hey guys, just had a big gnarly thunderstorm. This is dedication. Came through West Michigan. Power's out. I'm watching the show in my car." Thank you, man.
Brian, that's my bro right there.
And then he
love
says,
that guy.
Something fishy's going on. Ho ho.
She's going on. So yeah, that's
You know,
awesome.
I met Bryan at Immortal and just struck up a great friendship with that guy. I love that guy. Just a great, good-hearted guy. You know.
I met Bryan through Dave Cruz because Dave and his wife came up here and we met on the south side of Holland at a pizza place. And he goes, "Is it okay if my friend Bryan comes?" I'm like, "Sure." And so we hit it off. And Bryan's actually singing with me on a song called "Anyone" on our new album out.
Wow.
That'd be pretty cool.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's the only soft song on the album. So
yeah. You know, when I first looked up Bryan on the internet, he had this picture of him like this on stage, like, and I'm like, that looks like David from Disturbed. He has that look, right? Then I met him. I'm like, nah, not at all. But in the picture, he did, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, that's wild. So Ray, we're really excited to have you on. Let's start off. Tell us about Is It Wrong?
So, Is It Wrong podcast? I started it a little over a year ago. You know, I'm a talker. I like talking, and I really love joy and fun and peace, right? And I was chatting with some friends of mine. They're like, "You should start a podcast." I'm like, "I don't know how to do a podcast. I wouldn't even know where to begin, right?" And they're like, "Oh, dude, just look it up on YouTube, right?" So I'm like,
Yeah.
All right. So I started looking it up and I started watching some things and how to start a podcast and this and that. Then I'm like, all right, so let's say I do one. What am I going to talk about? And my wife says, you know a lot of artists. Why don't you just start interviewing artists? I'm like, okay. So I started doing that. And I did one and it went well. Then I did 2 and 3. And I don't even know how much. I think I had 78 episodes now. We just went over a year.
Nice.
We just got over, we got some kind of award for having over 40,000 views.
I saw that. Congratulations.
Yeah. And you know what? The podcast, it's funny because this is what I tell everyone who is on my podcast and who sees it. They feel the same way. When you're on my podcast, we're not doing like an interview. Hey, how'd you get started? What'd you do? Basically we're hanging out in my studio, having a conversation. And we're talking about stuff behind the scenes that most other people, Rudy Sarzo told me some stuff about Randy Rose that people didn't know.
Oh, cool.
People tell me stuff. Ira Black from Bullet Boy shared some stuff with me. And it's because people feel comfortable. And you guys know, you've seen it. We throw a lot of funny stuff in there. We laugh a lot.
Yep.
But that's what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be focused more on the joy of guys hanging out or women, whoever, because I'm getting ready to have a Women of Rock and Roll episode coming up.
Oh, cool.
And so it's just a fun time. And then I've gotten a little slack, but only by 2 or 3 people that have said, hey man, love the podcast, but I really don't like all the joking around and this and that. And my response is, thank you. And I'm sorry, but maybe this podcast is not for you. It's not going to be for everybody. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you guys what happened. When I first started watching your podcast, I must have came in after the intro where you said you guys talk about music. And I don't remember who you had on, but you guys are talking about your CDs and your music. And I'm looking and your guest is just like, and then Paul, you said, okay, so your turn. And I'm like, oh. So then he talked about his 3 CDs and his music. I'm like, awesome. See, so people know that you guys do that now.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not going to be for everyone, but so what? Right.
Right.
So my advice before I continue to talk about mine is do what's on your heart, man. Do what the Lord leads you to do.
Yep.
And really enjoy it, man. And you know what? There's going to be naysayers. So what?
Just all the time.
Hey, just tell them, hey, maybe our podcast is not for you.
And there's millions of podcasts out there.
Exactly, bro. Exactly.
You know what's cool, Ray? We talk about what you're talking about here. You started off with the concept of actually interviewing people that are in the music business. Paul and I were just starting to do, hey, let's do like a Bible study, whatever. Then next thing you know, God's dropping Rex Carroll, Paul Jackson, you and others. I'm like, I just got goosebumps saying those names because we fanboy and we don't, it's just because we're excited. Real quick, I got to tell you a quick story about the new pizza place I found. You like pizza?
Okay. Yeah.
Right? So I haven't had an experience like this one and another one. And I'll be real quick. I'll give the Reader's Digest version.
Okay.
So I'm ordering their pizza, and I go, and the owner was standing right there. So we're chit-chatting about the Buccaneers, and I think he's a Lions fan. And I was like, all right, this pizza better be good, because if it is, I'm coming back. And so I got the pizza, and we're talking about my music, and he's getting all like, it looked like he was getting starstruck. And he goes, you want a free pop? I'm like, sure. So he bought me a root beer, a really good one too, like in the bottle.
Oh, wow.
And I went back in and he goes, so what do you think about the pizza? I said, you guys do a great job. He goes, you want another root beer? I'm like, sure. And then the other day I had somebody private message me. Remember, I'm a fan. So
Yeah.
to get this made me feel really, and if he's watching, don't feel bad about it. It's just, I didn't know how to respond. He wanted me to send him a CD, which we're about to do. He's got to pay me first, but I had to go to the UPS thing and see how much it costs to ship, blah, blah, blah. And the guy behind the counter goes, where are you sending it to? I'm like, oh crap. So I couldn't find his information. So I pressed the phone and he answers and I go, hey, this is Bryan Carmen from We Are Resolute. Oh my goodness.
I love it, man.
This is an honor and a privilege. I'm like, and nothing against him. I was just like, I didn't know what to do or say. So I just, I need your information so I can send, because it matters where you're at, how much it's going to cost. So I went, I said to the guy behind the counter after I hung up, I go, you heard that, right? He goes, yeah. You got any information about your band? I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's great.
So it was a trip to me, dude. I don't know. How do you handle that? And are you used to it? Touch on that a little for your perspective.
Yeah, it when it first started happening to us was in Chicago. We were at a Pizza Hut, believe it or not, a pizza joint.
Pizza.
My wife and I went up to pay, and some dude come running up to me with a White Cross shirt on, and he goes, he's out of breath. He goes, "Excuse me, sir." He goes, "Is your name Ray Parra?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Why are you whispering? And he's like, "Oh my gosh, Mom!" He's screaming and beats out. He's like, "Stay right here! Don't go." Wait a minute. He goes running over. He comes back with his mom, and he's like shaking, and he's like, "Can I get a picture of you, man?" I'm like, "Dude, are you okay, man?" And he's like, "Yeah." So here's a funny story about that. We ended up becoming great friends with his parents.
Oh, that's cool.
And him as well, but they're both deceased now, but we were great friends with them, and it was just really cool. And then I get it all. We'd be at the mall, and a bunch of kids would be running around buying stuff, and they'd look at one of them will look at it. Then there you got people following you, you know. They're like, "Sorry, Parra," you know. And not anymore. It's like, "Hey, what's up? Yeah, it's me, guys. How you doing?" You know, you just get to a point where you used to it. The funniest thing, though, I'll tell you this, and it'll happen to you eventually, Bryan.
Okay.
When you do a concert or something, and you do meet and greets, and people come up to say hi to you or take a picture with you, so many times you put your arm around them, they're like shaking. You can feel their body shaking.
Yep.
It's like
from the excitement.
Yeah, and it's like, "Are you okay?" Oh yeah,
I just Ray giving CPR.
Yeah, right. But dude, I always tell everybody we're no different than you. You know, we got signed, we made it. You know, we all put on our pants the same way, or just, you know, we try not to be rock star things, you know, because we're not, man. We're just people,
right?
You know what I mean? Then the day you get where your head is bigger than your popularity, if you will, then you might as well hang it up, because
this was a fun conversation, because just listening to your story, and then you see I'm over here giggling. It's because I can picture that happen to you, because you said that guy was whispering at first, and then he's like, "Hey, Mom."
Dude, listen to this. My son Dylan, you know my son Dylan, he's a musician. I was running sound for his band one day. They had a concert, and I'm running sound for him. And I'm at the back, you know, they're way up there at the stage, and I'm over here. And all of a sudden, I feel a hand on my shoulder, and I think it's my wife, right? And I'm doing sound. I'm like, "Hold on, honey." And somebody goes down and whispers in my ear, and he says, "I know who you are." I'm like, "Whoa." I'm like, "Hold on, dude, hold on." So I'm running sound, and then finally got the mix right and everything. And I go, "What's up with you, brother?" He goes, "Bro, I know who you are." I said, "Who am I?" He goes, "You're Ray Parra." I said, "God, yeah." Oh, dude.
At least he didn't say, "I know what you did last summer," or something.
Yeah, there you go. But here's the coolest. at Immortal Fest, Chris Jericho comes up to me and he says, dude, he says, I got all your albums. And he named them all.
Wow.
So I know he's got them. And then he said, hey, when I was a kid, 17 years old, I wanted to get into some Christian metal. So I went in the bookstore and the first record we saw was Rebellion, and it looked like a metal record and said metal. We picked it up, loved it. Very next day, Howard Jones did the same thing to me. He's a singer from Killswitch. He's like, bro, he goes, dude, I got all your, he goes, such a pleasure to meet you. And I'm like, Howard Jones, man, huge fan of his, you know? And those kind of things that you, in fact, Chris Jericho said to me, he said, Ray, you don't know the impact that Sacred Warrior has had on people in government, musicians, actors, and all over the wrestling world. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah. He goes, you guys are very popular, but you just don't realize how big you are. And I guess I don't, because I get people telling me all the time that they're freaking out that I talk to them on Facebook and this and that. And again, I'm just Ray Parra, man. I'm nobody, you know, dude. I work. I have a regular job. You know what I'm saying? So it's hey, Dale's on, I think. Yeah. What's up,
Yeah.
buddy?
So
Let's take that segue right there, and if you could
hit
read
some comments.
Yep.
All right. So Brian Dale says, I don't think it's wrong, Ray. I've been enjoying your show. I watch it on my television. So that's really cool.
Nice.
And he remembers the very first time he talked to Ray on the phone, and he was dang nervous. And Dale says, hey, my brothers, love you guys, and Ray too.
Yeah, love you guys and Ray too, I guess.
Yeah, and Ray too.
Now you know
My
where
buddy
you're
right
right,
there.
man.
I love
We are
Dale,
up
man.
there.
Oh yeah, I know, man. You guys are like higher than me. Of
Whatever.
course, he sings in your band, you know.
Right?
Well, nobody
Oh,
knows
man.
who I am, so
Yeah, come on.
I do.
I do.
yeah, you guys do.
All right, everybody know who Paul is. Hands up. Let's see.
There we go, all three of us. Yeah.
There you go.
So this is really so talking about Immortal Fest and like this revival of the Christian rock world. What's that been like for you guys, and how did you get involved with Immortal?
So Steve Earnhardt, not Earnhardt, Steve Barhorst, who runs the place, he reached out to our Steve one day and said, hey, I got this festival I'm putting on. It's called Immortal Fest. And I wanted to see if Sacred Warrior would be interested in playing. And like we do everything else, we have a group chat we've had for years that us band members are all in and we all talk. And he put it up there and we're like, you guys want to do this festival? And we're like, yeah, sure, you know. And at that point, we hadn't really been doing a whole lot. And we got together and picked some songs and started working on them. And lo and behold, we did. We went, and it was a good turnout and people liked it. And then, you know, we always end with Holy, Holy, Holy.
Yes.
So that was, I think in 22 or 20, I think it was 20, the first one, whenever that was. And we ended our set with that, and the house went down. You know, it was a worship time of worship.
Yes.
And then after that, we started ending the festival every year with us playing and ending the whole festival with Holy, Holy, Holy.
That's cool.
You know, and it's turned out great.
I was there for that in 23.
Yeah.
And you brought a bunch of people up on stage with you guys.
Yeah, man.
And man, it was the perfect end to a perfect weekend.
Yep. And that's what we do every time.
Yeah. And that was the most, aside from the worship session we did have earlier in that night with Larry Worley.
Yep.
Phenomenal. That Holy, 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 that last song, man, I was just like, and I was like, why can't every day be like this moment right now?
Yeah.
With all
bro.
our brothers and sisters and just worshiping. It was amazing.
Yeah. And we do that because, you know, when we're up there performing, the crowd's cheering you on because of your performance, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or standing in amazement when you screw up something. They're like, you know, but even though, you know, the concert is for that, but it's also the reason we like ending with Holy Holy is because we like to put the focus on Jesus. When
Yeah.
people leave, they're going to remember every band, every song, da 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 da. But the last thing they're going to get before they leave is worship.
That's good.
And that's why we do it, man. So people can leave with the right spirit, with the right heart, with worship in their hearts. And people all over the world really just love that song. They love that we end with it. And they love that we bring people on stage, and it ministers to us too. Believe it or not, when we're up there playing that, and we have all you guys on stage with us, it's not just us ministering to the crowd. It ministers to us as well.
Yeah.
And that's
You know,
the
you're
way it
feeling
should,
it, man.
should go both ways.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
and I recorded that, or part of it, on my phone, and I brought it home and I showed my wife. I said, "This is how the show ended," and she was like, "Oh my gosh, that's just
Yeah. 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 It was great, man.
Hey, speaking of your wife, she said that she's your biggest fan.
Oh, is she on there? She is,
Yeah,
man.
she's watching.
That's my girl, man. I have
I'm sure she raised
nothing.
her hand, right?
Yeah. Well, she's in the other room. She, I tell you what, I have nothing if I don't have her, man. She's the reason I do what I do, you know, other than Jesus, of course, but she's my motivator. She's my biggest cheerleader. She's my bride. We just celebrated 36 years anniversary.
Nice.
And yeah, dude. And I'll tell you guys something a little funny. Sometimes I get up at night to go to the bathroom, and I'll come back to go to bed, and I'll see her laying in the bed, and she can't hear me. She's sleeping, right? And I'll be like, God, I love that woman. And I still have that for her after 36 years.
That's so awesome.
You know, yeah, she doesn't know that I'm doing that, you know. Well, she knows now because
Yeah.
I said it, but I just genuinely just love my wife.
Yeah, we're going to be celebrating 36 years ourselves this year, and
Some man.
Yeah, and I think about, you know, the journey we've had together, and what we had with the kids, and now we're getting to that point where we're older, and I just couldn't be happier. I couldn't be
Yeah.
happier with what, and you know, this was coming from a life where I had every opportunity to serve God and do right in my teens,
Mm-hmm.
and failed and went in every direction wrong.
Mm.
And God brought us together through that, where we would have never met. Had I
Right.
done the right things in life, I would have never met her.
Wow.
And God blessed it and turned it into something wonderful. So,
That's awesome,
you
man.
know,
You guys are making this
Incredible.
difficult for me because I lost my wife 3 years ago, and we would have been 37 years.
sorry, man.
Yeah, but
That's
that's true love right there, bro.
Oh yeah,
You know, yeah, man.
I miss her,
You-
but I have Leah, and we're trying to keep praying for her so we can get her over here.
yeah, man, yeah.
So
She's watching tonight, right?
she
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
She could have fallen asleep by now.
Now, where does she live at?
California,
And where are you at?
West Michigan,
Oh, okay. So what? 8:30.
3 hours.
3
difference.
hours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like only 5:30. She better not be sleeping already.
She calls
Wake
me.
up!
She calls
Leah,
me
wake up!
future boy.
Future boy.
Yeah.
yeah,
Works.
yeah. That's cool. I like that. I actually like that. That's pretty cool. Start calling you future boy. Is it wrong?
Doc. Party.
So where did you get the name? I know it's kind of an inside joke with some of the guys that have been on the show, and I haven't, and then you probably talked about it, but I haven't picked it up.
Yeah.
Where's
So
that name?
I had told everyone that I would do it at our I think I said our 50th issue or our 1 year anniversary or whatever. So what it is when we were in the studio, Sacred Warrior, recording our first record, we I was in the vocal booth, and the band and our producer are all in the other room, right? So they're looking at me through this glass, and I'm laying down vocal tracks, and I'd lay down a part, and then Harry, the producer, would hit stop, and they would all just start laughing. He'd say something, they'd all laugh. I'm like, oh, man, did I miss a note or something? He'd say, yeah, give it, hit the button. You know, he talking to my ears, in my ears. Yeah, try that again. So I'd sing the part again. Then he'd stop it, and they're all talking for a minute, and then they'd all start laughing again. I'm like, what the heck? So I'm like, all right, I'm going to take one ear out. Maybe I need to hear myself as I'm singing. Maybe I'm hitting a flat note or something. And please do that again. Okay, here I go. So I do it again, and They're all talking again. Then they laughing again. And I know I didn't screw up this time. I said, guys, when y'all are talking, especially if you're laughing at me, I need to know what's going on because y'all are driving me nuts. What am I doing? What's going on? And Harry comes on and he goes, I'm sorry, man. He goes, just sing again. I'm like, all right. So he hits record. I start singing. And halfway through my singing, he hits the button and he says, is it wrong when a man follows another man into the men's room and you know? And I'm like, what does that mean, right? And here we're all instantly you're thinking it's something bad, right? So he kept doing that. And he goes, and when he does, is it wrong if he whatever? So finally, I go in the room. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, we're laughing. He goes, what happens when guys go into the men's room? One guy goes in, and then another man goes in. They're going pee. Is it wrong? He goes, but your mind right away went dirty. You know, is it wrong when a man follows another man into the men's room and you know? Well, the you know is they're going pee. You know what I'm saying? But instantly in your mind, you're like, okay, so you're thinking the worst, but it's not, you know? So I really, for years, I would say that, is it wrong? Just for whatever. And then one day I decided, well, that's it, bro. That's it. My son, Chris, did that design. He does a lot of my tattoos and stuff, but he, I just like that. It sparks conversation, if you will. And if you think about it, you can work that into anything.
Yep.
Is it wrong that you're wearing one of my shirts right now and I'm not? You know what I'm saying? So it's a perfect little phrase. And I just love it, man. I've gone with it and it's worked and I'm not going to ever change it. You know, the only thing I did is the intro song that my son Dylan wrote that. Nice. And then later on, I put a little vocal on there. Why is it wrong? But that's not me. That's Todd LaTorre from Queensryche.
Oh yeah, I heard you talk about that.
Yeah. So, you know, it's evolved and it continues to evolve, you know, as time goes on. And I'm just really grateful. We've gotten almost 800 subscribers in a year, man. You know,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you've heard our intro, right?
Yeah.
Little jam. That's just me and John, just guitar and drums. And we did it like, I don't know, within an hour.
Oh, wow.
John did a quick mix and I think he hooked up 2 microphones to the drum set only because we usually have 8 hooked up.
Wow.
So it came out pretty good. It was a good little jam.
No, it's cool. And it's yours. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We don't have to worry about copyrights or anybody coming along and saying, hey,
right. You can't use that.
Well, I'll be honest with you. The name of the show, Road Less Traveled.
Yeah.
You know, Dale's got that solo album, and that's one of his solo albums. That's a song on one of his solo albums. And that song just resonated with me like you couldn't believe when I first heard it, when it first came out. And I was like, I gotta have a ministry someday with that name in it, because that's just like, that is so indicative of our relationship with Christ, and we're on the road less traveled, you know, and we want to get.
How Dale's gonna sue us.
You're gonna
yeah, look out.
We got to get as many people on this road with us as we can, you know?
Yeah.
So when we were kicking the idea of this around, I was like, oh, Road Less Traveled. I haven't got to use that yet.
Yeah, no, it's cool, man. It's cool.
Yeah, and I was going to ask him if we could use some of the bumper music from that song. And then Bryan came up with an awesome intro.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, we got this now, so we're good.
How long have you guys been doing it now? Just a few months, right?
27 episodes.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. How long?
27th episode.
Oh, okay. And you do one a week?
One a week, yeah.
Okay.
So we're still, you know, we feel like we're still new at it, but I guess 27 weeks is not terribly new.
Nah, you're doing fine, man. You know what makes a successful podcast? People watch and people comment.
Yep.
If you're doing it over and over and over and you get one viewer or two, then it's time to say, is the juice worth the squeeze? You know what I mean by that?
Right.
Yep.
So, and here's the ironic part of it is that one might be an unsaved person, then he ends up getting saved because he's listening to your show.
Yep.
And then it's worth it.
You know? Yeah.
Well, we found out that this was of God because like we said before earlier in the conversation, we were just going to do Paul and I and hope we had some 15 viewed.
Yeah.
And so when we don't have a guest, we pick a topic and we dig into it. We had Sarah on here and as a co-host, and I thought that worked out pretty good because
That was a lot of fun.
this time she comes on, we want her to go through the list of the and read the comments, so it's not my voice and Paul's voice constantly.
Right.
So
yeah.
Yeah,
Sarah
just know
Gill,
what God's
hubby
gonna
at
do,
19
dude.
to go. Nice. No, it's I really like doing the live episodes. You guys do them all live, and I have a couple of really funny ones coming up. Not this Friday, but in the next few weeks. Anyways, I got one coming up. It's going to be called Nightmares of the Church Sound Man.
Oh,
Because I know there's a lot of people that are friends of mine and that watch my podcast and stuff also, that like I run sound at my church, and a lot of my friends, Facebook friends and stuff do. And we all seem to use the same console and we all have stories. So I'm like, I'm going to do one like that. And then I'm going to do one, call it The Biggest Fanboy. I've met some people at Immortal that they have almost whole houses worth of band merch. I want to see who's got the most band merch and get them on, and I think that'll be a fun one too, man.
Yeah,
One guy I was talking to, he's got literally has stage props from Ronnie James Dio concert. And he showed me a picture of his house. I was like, oh my gosh, man. I can't remember who it was, but I want to get him on, so.
That's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm. And what's really cool too, even though my podcast, we cut up a lot, we laugh a lot, and God seems to quite often take over. Like a few weeks ago, I had Larry Dean on, and then all of a sudden, Dorn. I've been talking to Dorn. You guys know Dorn from Immortal, and he's dealing with some real bad health issues. And then I ended up bringing him on the show, and we all prayed for him, and all the listeners, everybody to praying. And God took that podcast and really turned it into a prayer session. And so first and foremost, everything that I do with that is for the purpose of Christians getting together, or even when I interview non-Christians and stuff, but always bringing the Lord into it and letting God do what he's going to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like when I had Mike Lepon from Symphony X, I'm talking to this guy, you could just sense his spirit, right? And almost like the midpoint or almost at the end, I said, hey, I can ask a question for you. You don't have to answer this if you don't want. I said, but do you have a relationship with the Lord? And he looked at me and he said, Ray, I'm a Christian and I'm proud of it. I was like, I knew it, man. I could just tell by your spirit, So it's cool.
That's really cool. So what do you got coming up next musically? And you mentioned you got a new Sacred Warrior album. Where are you guys at with that?
So we still got a ways to go, but we're probably going to be releasing one of the songs here pretty soon, just to give everybody a taste of what we're doing. The song's called Unstoppable Kingdom, and it's very Iron Maiden-esque, if you will.
Nice. Okay.
It drives and then it slows down. It's got a little Camelot feel to it, and but still Warrior. You know what I mean? Right. So we're working on that, and I don't know when that record would be complete, but I do know that we're going to release a song or two at a time, just to keep it out in people's ears, so people can get excited about Sacred Warrior again. And because for me, honestly, I years and years and years of not writing anything, and then working on a new song is even exciting for me. I've just like, man, it's getting really exciting. We've had like 9 or 10 songs already in the works, so we're kind of filtering through them and see which ones are going to actually use and which ones we're not. But for sure, Unstoppable Kingdom will be the first one.
I've got a question for you.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
And you mentioned a little bit of it just now. How many years were you off as the vocalist of Sacred Warrior?
So we got signed in 89. I mean, 89. And we did 5 albums. And then I left the band. And then that new release that just got released by Rox Records, I believe it was like in 2001. So it was, quite a few years. And then we did that record, and then we did nothing after a while, because the writing, we started writing again a bunch of stuff, but it was not the direction that I want to go. So I didn't do anything. But realistically, as a whole, like whole record, new songs and everything, it's probably 25 plus years. You know what I mean?
So were you doing anything vocally on the side, or did you just stop singing professionally?
For years I didn't do anything. Sang in church, directed the choir, was the sound man and all that. And then John Johnson and I got together and we put Deny the Fallen together. I think that was in 2014 or 2015. And we did a couple albums there. And then we did that, and then nothing again. Then I got together with George. And we did the first Worldview record. And then nothing for a while. And now we did again, So there was a big stretch there where I really wasn't singing other than in church,
Okay, so
And let me tell you, that was a great time too,
My question is focusing on the technique of your singing and how your vocal cords changed or could have changed.
Mhm.
Did you meet with somebody to get training to get yourself back, or take hints or lessons or anything that would have gotten you back into being ready to sing again? Or what was your process
No,
of getting
no,
back in?
I didn't, because although I wasn't singing professionally, I was still always singing.
Okay.
My drive to work is about an hour plus every day. So I'm listening to the word or praying on the way in, and on the way back, I'm singing, whether it's Sacred Warrior, Recon, White Cross, whatever, I'm singing,
Good.
and it's funny because people probably laugh at me, but when I'm driving, I literally have my in-ears in, the music cranked, and I'm singing full voice in my truck.
Nice.
But if you were to pull next to me, you wouldn't hear any music. You just hear me, yeah, people are like,
I'd be like, hey, I know him.
yeah. So I just, I didn't. I do have vocal warm-ups that I do all the time.
Okay.
But other than that, I don't really. I was like, I can say this. I praise God that He has protected my voice. You know what I mean? It's just by the grace of God, man.
You know that video you guys did, War Torn Hero?
Yeah.
Dude, your vocals on that, after the part where it slows down,
Mm-hmm.
then you go back into it, and man, that is so good.
Thank you, man.
I hit rewind, listen to it again. Hit rewind, listen to it again. It's just really good.
That's actually one of my favorite ones too. Somebody asked me before, what's one of my favorite songs to do live? And that's one of them, War Torn Heroes, because there's just something about it that it just, like you said, it puts you in that zone. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. It just
as a songwriter myself, I appreciate really well written songs with a lot of melodic rock. That's what I like. The melodic.
Yeah.
So,
and I would probably have to say, other than Holy Holy, my favorite song to perform is Madman, because on the part where now you can be free. When I put my arms out to sing that, because I'm just talking, I'm making that connection with the Lord, but I'm also telling people you can be free, truly free. Yep. And sometimes I get emotional on that. It's the coolest thing, man. I just praise God, man.
Yep.
So awesome. So you knew it was time to stop, and you had that big break, and then you knew it was time to start up again. And I talked to a lot of people who are at a place where they feel like they've been turned off, for the spigot's been turned off for them, and and they're waiting to see what's coming next, and they really don't know what's going on. So could you talk about that a little bit? How did you know it was time to stop, and how did you know it was time to start up again?
Yeah, let me ask you first though, is that people who's kind of at a funky place with Warrior, or in their own lives?
In their own lives, where they've been like, serving, doing stuff with the Lord, and being used of God, and then all of a sudden, the spigot turns off, and they find themselves, waiting for the next thing.
Right. Oh, so rephrase. So say that question to me again, because kind of lost me there for a second.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So you knew it was time to stop and go through that period, and you had no idea it was going to be that many years.
Right.
But then you knew it was time to start up again.
Right.
So how did the Lord speak to you, urge you, move you in that direction, both ways?
So it was kind of funny the way it worked. We had gotten asked to do a show in Mexico, And I talked to the guys, and I'm like, "Hey, man, we got an opportunity to play Exodo Fest in Mexico." And they're like, "Well, we really don't have a band right now." And I said, "Well, let's pray about it. Let's all pray about it and see what happens, and see if the Lord leads." And a couple of the guys in the band were kind of like, I don't know. And then a couple were like, "Yeah, let's try it." So we decided to pray about it, and then we decided, okay, let's have a meeting. Sacred Warrior, we're known for meetings because we pray about everything, man. And we got together and prayed about it, and we all kind of felt like, all right, let's talk about it. So how would we do it? What songs would we do? Yada yada. So we got a song list together, and then we started rehearsing. Believe it or not, I'm in Florida, the guys are in Chicago, and we do our rehearsal. I'm in my studio, and they're in theirs, and I can see them, and they can see me, and I hear them live. But what I do is I was tracking my vocals and sending them the vocals of the songs that we were going to work on. And they would be listening to my recorded vocals, and I'll be listening to them play live on my computer. And so it's like we're rehearsing live. We can stop, we can talk, and it's like you're all in the same room together. And it felt really good again. And it's like we all just said, let's do this, man. And we're like, hey, let's go. And then at first we're like, well, let's just do this to do some shows. So then people started inviting us, Germany, here, there, and the other, Chicago, and Ohio. And we started doing shows, and it felt really good again, to start doing that. So we're like, maybe we should consider start writing again,
Yeah.
And we're like, all right, well, let's do it. And it's been slow. I ain't gonna lie. Larry Worley and Fear Not, they'll write like 100 songs in a week. But for us, it's like, even, and Dale, and I've said this before, that man, he's a writing machine, crazy. But for us, it was a little different, and it's been taking time, but we all felt, at that time, okay, you know what, let's do this. The time is right. And we just felt really led, and things are just starting to move pretty good now.
Yeah, so that's really great. And I love that you're back. I love that you guys are making music, and you got other stuff going on besides Sacred Warrior. What's going on with Worldview?
Yeah, Worldview. We're just about done. I got to go back in a couple of weeks and finish the vocals on 2 more songs, and that record's done. It's a funny joke. I've been talking with Steve Watkins, my bass player from Sacred Warrior, and he's like, "Yeah, I think I'm gonna go get rid of George." I was like, "Why is that?" He's like, "Because he keeps taking you to Nashville to record over there, and we need to be recording this record." But that was all in great fun, But yeah, this Worldview 2 we've been working on, and like I said, that's going to be a great record. It's going to surprise some people because of the. It's going to be a lot like the first record, but I don't want to give away too much about it, but we got an addition. Crystal's singing with us now, and then she sings a lot, probably on every song, pretty much now. And then some of the songs are a little slower yet heavy. I think people are going to really be impressed. Really be impressed with it.
Sorry, I'm not distracted while I am. My cat's got the zoomies right now, and she's flying all over.
Oh, that's all right, man.
Well,
that's why my eyes are itchy. I'm allergic to cats.
There you go. It's over the internet. Yeah.
We'll be promoting that, as it gets closer, and I'll watch out for your posts on Facebook. And,
yeah, man.
And, we have just ventured into the world of TikTok. And I was impressed. I sent you a follow, and I think within minutes or seconds, I got a follow back from you guys, and so that was awesome. And so I've been learning how to make little clips. I don't know if you saw the little clip I made for you.
I did.
So I'm going to be doing that to promote stuff that comes out.
Good deal,
so when
man.
you guys get closer to dropping, I'll be making little clips like that to put on TikTok.
Appreciate it, man.
Promote, because that's a big part of this is there's so many people, and this was my story going back to my early years of Christianity. I loved metal, I loved hard rock, and I had no clue that this world existed.
Oh wow!
And I was trying to transition out of secular music, but thinking I can't just listen to CCM. I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yeah.
And I got introduced to Bride, Kinetic Faith, when it first came out. That was my first real introduction to metal, and
Everybody knows
so
my name. First song I've ever
everybody knows
done.
my name. Yeah, and so for me, it was "I Hope You and Jesus Got It All Worked Out." That was my favorite song.
Yeah,
of that album.
man.
Fire gun.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome.
you know, I want to make sure that people are aware that Sacred Warrior is out there.
Yeah,
That this is the style of music you like. This is something that, and I don't want to say, oh, they sound like this guy. They sound like Sacred Warrior,
that's
and
right.
you're gonna love them because they're
Yeah, man.
heavy and they got lyrics that mean something,
Mhm.
and they got amazing vocals, which I'm not just saying because you're here, because you're
I thought you said backstage,
Appreciate
Paul.
it, man.
ah, he was backstage with us. He knows what I said backstage.
Darn it.
You know, we left him in the green room by mistake.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
want to tell the people what happened at the pre-show or not?
Yeah. So y'all invited me as a guest. I went on there, and I think Paul, I think you said, yeah, I see Ray popped on or something, and I thought you actually brought me on, and you guys are talking, and then you stood up and showed your shirt, Bryan, and I'm like,
Just
oh
like
yeah, I
this?
said, yeah, and I'm like, man, I should go get my shirt, and you guys are just talking, and I'm like, okay, are they ignoring me or what? And I'm like, hey, so, and you guys are talking, and it seemed like we were talking back and forth, but we weren't. It was the craziest thing.
We had
All of a
no
sudden,
clue.
yeah, and what made me realize it is I'm talking, and Paul just starts talking over me, and I'm like, hello. I'm like,
How rude,
hey, Paul, can you hear me? Bryan, can you hear me? Hey, guys, can you hear me? So then I started texting these guys, and they're finally there. Oh, man, we never let Ray in the studio.
We're totally professional, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
man. Hey, is it wrong?
That was
Is it
wrong.
wrong that I left Ray in the green room?
Yeah, man.
There wasn't even any pizza or anything in that green room either.
I know, bro. What the heck, man?
That is
Yeah,
wrong.
we didn't
That is
read your
very
rider.
wrong. Yeah, there you go. There you go. You guys been taking your triactin? Paul,
You're acting like a man.
triactin like a man. You familiar with that?
Yep.
Paul?
No, that's the first I heard that.
Oh, dude.
That's
So that tells me you don't watch my podcast. You know what? Goodbye. Oh, wait, I can't take you off my screen.
I have watched some of the earlier shows, but you know, and
Bro,
it's one of
they
those
have
things I will be
the
watching.
podcast. It has progressed so much. Ask Bryan. He's always on. But
yeah,
Larry Worley, very early beginnings, like second podcast or third podcast. I was really tired that day, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to. So I'm telling Larry, I'm like, dude, I'm really tired today. And he goes, hey, bro. He says, you take your triactin today? And I'm like, what the heck is that? He goes, triactin like a man. I'm like, oh, man. I said, I love that. So I stole that from him, and I started using it on all my podcasts. And then there's a guy who watches all of ours, Michael. We did a show in Ohio, and he shows up with a whole box of coffee mugs, and they all say, try acting like a man. It's got a real cool logo of a guy with a cup of coffee. Cool. It is so cool. Michael, if you're watching, thank you. And it was great, man. So now that's our big thing, try acting, you know. It's just funny. Because you ask people, you take your try acting, they're like, I never heard of that. Try acting like a man.
We don't usually get like political, but this one's kind of funny. Some people need to take this.
Oh yeah, Trump and all. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Yeah, I think you can find that at Walgreens right next to the Grow a Pair.
And triactin.
That's right.
Now, do you have to get a prescription, or is it over the counter?
No, over the counter, man. Over the counter. And you can get more. They're buy two, get one free.
Oh my goodness. That's
Sunny, Joshua. Hey guys.
You want to hit the comments?
Oh yeah, we got quite a few there, and then we're getting close to the end here. So
already,
back when you mentioned about having Sarah on, she said it was the coolest thing. Never did anything like that before, and she said thanks for having me.
Awesome.
And Joshua said very cool. And Brian Dale said we all know Sacred Warrior is the greatest metal band of all time. Well, there you go.
Thanks, bro. Thank you.
That's the endorsement of the night right there.
Hey, speaking of endorsements, I'm endorsed by Beer Products. I don't know if you can see this. Hang on. I can't even see it because I moved my camera. See that? Bar.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
So that's for
That's from-
beards?
It's for beards. Yeah, it's a beard balm.
Okay.
I'm endorsed by them, so I try to show it on everything.
Very nice.
I need to put their link on my thing for it, but that's Crystal and Joey Mancaruso. Crystal, the girl that sings the Worldview with us, and her husband.
So where can
But,
I get barred if I was to ever grow back my goatee?
Dude, I will send you a link for their stuff. I'll send
Okay.
you a link. And it's really good, and it smells really good. You put an oil on just to loosen it up, then you put the balm on there. And I even got a deodorant, and it smells really good, man. So my wife likes it. Is it wrong?
So what about, is it Bard, B-A-R-D, then you can go .com?
Hang on. All right, you're gonna make me put my glasses on, ain't you?
Well, this
No,
is
you're
for
not,
the
'cause I don't
viewers
have
in
them
case
here.
somebody has a
Yeah.
beard. My brother
Yeah, we're
has
helping
his
you.
goatee.
We're helping you plug
Can you
your.
read that? Hang on a second. Oh, here.
And I both go
I
like
got-
this.
Hang on. I
Yeah,
got
read
it.
it in. I can't read that,
I-
man.
No, wait, hang on. I got to do the old man thing here. Let me
I do that now too.
zoom in with my phone. Bard, a heart and soul beard balm, and it is www.fablebeardco.com. Fablebeardcompany.com. So they got a Facebook and an Instagram, and it's just a
There
bunch
is-
of good stuff.
For all those people with the beards, there you go. Now you can
There
go.
you go.
Help support
There
some
you
good
go. Yeah, man.
businesses here. So that's
Yes.
awesome.
Yes.
Well, unbelievably, we have reached the end of our time, which this felt like it was starting, honestly.
Yeah, I know, right?
But do you have any pearls of wisdom or anything you want to say before we sign out tonight?
Yeah, a couple things. I really try to emphasize the importance of when people ask you for prayer and you commit to it, do it.
Yep.
So many people just say, I see hundreds of people. I'm praying. If you're saying that, pray.
Yep.
Yeah.
But not just for people. Have a relationship with the Lord. Get up in the morning, say, good morning, Daddy. I love you. How are you? And just spend a little time with him, get into the word, and I don't get into it quite as much as I should. But I do. I recently reached out to a brother of mine. I told him I want to be under his discipleship because I'm making myself more accountable. I know who I am as a godly man, but I feel I can go next level by being under this guy's discipleship.
Oh, having a mentor is
That's
really
awesome.
great for.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah,
You got to have one.
yeah. I got saved in '85, and I still don't.
Hey,
know
me too.
anything, Did you really? Yeah.
1985.
Yep. I got saved at a Sacred Warrior concert. No, I'm kidding. But listen, guys, just really, it's important, man. And another great thing is, don't let the devil get between you and brothers and sisters. I see a lot of arguing between God people. Hey, man, that makes the devil happy when we're killing each other. Don't do it, man. Encourage each other, pray for each other, be there for each other, and love on each other and pray for each other, man. It's really important. It's like I said, when somebody asks you to pray for them and you say, I'm going to be praying for you, they're relying on those prayers.
Yeah.
Does that mean that the Lord's going to say, oh, wait, hold on, stop the world. Bryan's asking me to praying that I heal. No, that doesn't mean that. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But what it does mean is that we're all bring your burdens to the cross, to the foot of the cross, right? And that's what we do. And if you commit to doing it, do it. Be there. Be the person that people can say, I know that dude's praying for me. Like Bryan, you said to me a week ago, Ray, I know you're praying for me because I've told you and we know certain things and stuff. Be that person. And it gets exhausting sometimes because you have way too many. Hang on, my wife just messaged me something. She's posting all kinds of weird stuff on me while I'm still trying to do this. But anyways,
Yeah.
and also, and I was just going to say, and also thanks for all you guys who support the Is It Wrong podcast. It's on YouTube. Is It Wrong podcast with Ray Parra. Come on there, check it out, have fun. We laugh a lot, we cut up a lot. That's it, man, right there. and we talk Jesus a lot, and God has been opening some doors for me to bring a lot of unsafe people on there as well, secular bands, and along with more Christian bands, and I just really enjoy it. And like I said, this disclaimer, it's not for everybody.
Right.
Some people aren't going to like the cut up and the joking around like we do, but that's what I decided to do, Dave and I, and that's what we do, and we enjoy doing it.
Yep.
And for you guys, man, thanks for having me on here. Really, really appreciate it.
I'm glad it worked out.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I am too, and I feel like we need to have you on again because our time just flew by.
Damn.
It did.
And I really wanted to hear those stories about the first album and the backstories on that and stuff. So
Oh yeah,
definitely gonna have you back.
Yeah, we'll do it.
That stuff I'm
Hey,
interested
Parra
in.
too.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go.
And I do want to throw one comment. Bob Ackerman's on, affectionately known to me as Bobby. We just reconnected today after 50 years. He was my next door neighbor, best friend, growing up in New Jersey when I was 9 years old. And shout out to you, buddy. It was great talking and catching up to you today. Thanks for checking us out tonight.
That's awesome.
And he's probably one of only 3 people in the world that I would let get away with calling me Paulie. So
Paul, hey Paulie, how you doing, Paulie?
yeah, exactly. So Ray, we're so blessed that you came on with us tonight.
Thank you, man.
Thank you for taking the time and being with us.
Thank you, man.
And Bryan, you got anything to close this out with?
Yeah, just so everybody knows, Ray's not just puffing smoke when he says that he prays, because he's called me 3 or 4 times out of the blue, even while he was working, and prayed with me and encouraged me. And so this is a real brother in the Lord, and we do pray for each other. And you know, it's funny, the things I've been going through the last 5 or so years, I'm really more sensitive to the Holy Spirit now. I'm closer to Christ than I ever have been. And it's like an atheist would say, what are you worshiping a God that would allow all that to happen? And I'm like, how can I not worship God? So Ray, thank you for praying for me. Paul, you also. And it's just, know this, we're instructed to pray. Yeah. We're instructed to read, and we're instructed to go and tell. Yeah. Whatever that go and tell is, shows like this, our music, your next door neighbor, coworker. Mm-hmm. If you're not in the word and praying, you're not going to be effective to the people that you're trying to outreach to. Mm-hmm. And so getting in the word, like I always say in my Let's Talk videos that I do, my little shorts, and for this show, read at least a chapter a day. And it's going to turn into 2 or 3 chapters sometimes. It's okay. But like you said before, Ray, life is tough. You're busy too, Paul. And so if you go to bed and go, I'll just read tomorrow, and then next thing you know, a week is gone, you haven't read. So for 5 years now, I've only missed 5 days, and they're out of my control. Mm-hmm. I've been in the Word at least a chapter, and I can tell a difference because I'm going through the New Testament now, I think, for the 11th time. Mm. Now I'm going back through and go, oh, yeah, I remember this. Ooh, I never thought about it that way. And Paul and I have talked about that in some of our episodes where we don't have a guest. So get in the Word and stay there. Prayer and tell people, no matter what that looks like in your life. Yeah. You're an electrician. As you're doing a job, if you can't do it on the job, maybe you'll see the person later. Do whatever you can. Whatsoever you do as unto the Lord.
There you go.
And let your life be a testimony so people see Jesus in your actions and your behaviors.
Absolutely. Oh, that's so true. I was in a warehouse where I was working, and this guy comes up and goes, hey, Bryan. I'm like, yeah, what's up? What's up? You don't cuss, do you? I go, no. Why? And then I was able to share Christ with him.
Yeah.
That's so
I wasn't witnessing to him. He just knew over the 6 months that he knew me, you don't cuss.
That's nice.
Or it says he will draw men unto you.
Yep.
Amen.
It literally says he'll draw men unto himself, but through us, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
We get that honor and privilege to do it.
Yeah, man. People know. It's funny. There's people that I have shared the gospel with a lot, and they're like, "Oh, that's cool for you. I'm good." But the minute they need prayer, who do they come to?
They come to us. Yeah,
exactly, man. The believers. Yep. Because although they say they don't believe there's a God and they don't believe in miracles and this and that, when mom's in bed in the deathbed, man, I know you have a communication with the man upstairs. Pray for my mom. Oh, so you do believe then, right? You believe that there's power in prayer, right?
Yeah,
It's
and I love
hilarious,
flipping that over on people and go, I'll pray for you in that situation. If you promise me you'll pray too. And they're like,
Yeah.
what?
Oh yeah.
Talk to God? I'm like, yeah, right.
I
That's
like
cool.
that. Yeah. I'll start
But,
calling you Pastor
yeah.
Paul.
And flipping, piggybacking on what you said about praying for people when you tell them you're going to pray for them. It's so easy to hit that prayer emoji. It's so easy to put lifting you up, send. You're going to forget.
Yeah.
You're going to forget. Pray before you send that.
Yep.
Don't
Bro.
send it with the best of intentions.
Right.
Yes.
You pray first. You pray now.
Yeah.
Hey, after my wife died,
yeah.
I was going through her stuff, her old Bible. I opened up these things and I didn't know I knew she prayed every night, but she had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I think my name was on Thursdays. She was praying for like 15 or 20 people every day on each one of those days.
That's so cool.
Like with purpose, intent.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
That was what a wonderful woman.
Yeah, man. Dude, when you got people on there to say, hey, I need prayer for unspoken, Lord, that just meet that person right where they're at right now. In Jesus' name, touch them, bring their needs, supply their needs, heal them, whatever they need in Jesus' name. It's that simple.
Yep.
It's that easy.
It's that simple, man.
Yeah. My mom spends like 2 hours a day praying. She's got a book of people and things she's praying about.
Yeah.
And it
That's so
blesses
cool.
my heart knowing that my mom's praying for me every day.
Have you guys seen that movie War Room?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
I think I have. It sounds very familiar.
The old lady was trying to mentor this other lady that was a real estate agent, and she had this closet she cleared out and put Post-it notes of prayers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, no doubt.
That Sarah said, great movie.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Deal.
All right. Well, again, Ray, love you, man. So glad to have you. Check out Sacred Warrior coming out soon. Worldview's coming out soon. Check out Is It Wrong podcast. Subscribe. And Ray Parra, true man of God. And we're just blessed to be able to spend this time talking to you, man.
That was fun.
Man. Thank you, man. Thanks for having me on, guys.
And get us hooked up for We Are Resolute sometime.
I was just gonna say We Are Resolute. I'll work it in there. I got like 4 or 5 episodes already recorded in the hopper.
Okay.
I got 2 more live ones that I'm doing, and I got 3 more scheduled. And like I said, it's been going crazy. But even Dave a couple of weeks ago was like, "Hey, can we slow down a little bit?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro, we will." But what happens is I get phone calls messages from people that are asking me to be on the podcast now, and I'm like, "Yeah, when are you available?" And
we started getting that too. We're like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
Tuesdays work the best for John and I. So
okay, yeah, good deal.
All right,
man.
I'm gonna end our stream. Thank you again.